Well, so much for the garage, gentlemen. I've got some toys and stuff.
This is why I originally came, right?
Well, yes. These are toys like mostly from the 1960s, like what a boy would have found in a hobby shop. The sort of model kit you glue together, and little slot cars you race on track, and little gasoline-powered toys and stuff like that.
I could never get enough time in the hobby shops when I was a kid. It's why, as a grown-up kid,
making up for it now.
I am still collecting the toys. Absolutely. So, as I said before, my whole reason for being here was because Mark agreed to sell me a very cool vintage slot car set imported from Italy. I'm very excited to see it, but I'm also intrigued as to what else you might have.
Well, I've got a few things. Come on this way.
All right.
All right. All right. Hold on. Ooh, railroad. Ooh, lots of railroad. Ooh, DX. Police car. Jeez. Oh, there's stuff in the rafters.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow. 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 That's incredible.
Why don't you slip in here? And I just want to, if you.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Take a peek. So what we have here
Wow.
on the ceilings, and like in this corner and kind of floating up around here, these are commercial illustrations. They're on poster board. They're in a water-based medium. They're commercial illustrators' work. Some from the 1950s, but most of it from the 1960s.
Okay.
These are the images that end up on the box top of your toy model kit or slot car or what have you. And this whole area here is sort of jammed with them too. Companies like AMT out of Detroit. This was Aurora slot car model kit of a GTO from about 1965.
Wow.
This is the Johann. This car here, along with this Superbird, and some of these on the back edge here by MPC. So these are all sorts of illustrations. 60s. Some of these might be early 70s also. Some of the ones without the background might be a little bit more recent.
I mean, they're right there is the Superbird, and there's the artwork for it.
Right. I try to match up the bits, and this is by Aurora from the 1950s. Just beautiful work on it. I think this is Lindbergh. This Thunderbolt, I believe. There's your artist name, Ray Gadke. He did a lot of work. And
wow.
That red car over your head, that was done by a man named John Steele that did illustrations in a lot of different fields, and that was a Lindbergh model, sort of a futuristic car. Lindbergh was out of Skokie, Illinois.
Oh, that's where I live.
And what we've got here, these are predominantly 1960s slot cars. This whole wall here, you've got your American companies like Cox and Monogram here, and here's AMT going into here, and some other brands. This brand is called Classic. This brand is called Garvik. I also have stuff from other countries. This enclave here, this is all Japanese 1960s slot cars. And on this side, it goes on. Strombecker was a big Chicago-based company that did slot cars a lot. You've got companies like Revell over here. Revell's famous for their Ed Roth-inspired slot cars. The Ratfink slot car and the Mr. Gasser slot car. Those are about 1964, 65 in that range.
Wow.
MPC that made promotional models and lots of model kits. They had a nice range of larger scale slot cars here. Pontiac GTO, the Ford J car, racing cars of various types.
Sorry, I was using it to
No, by all means.
light it up a little bit.
And these are gasoline-powered toys. These are mostly 60s and some 70s stuff too. A lot of Cox out of California did a lot of these. There's some other brands there also.
The Van Blaster.
Yes, yeah. They
This is incredible, sir.
well,
Absolutely mind-blowing.
well, thank you. Yeah, and the stuff I have in this area, 99% of it is unbuilt, unrun. So if the box is made it to this part, this shelving area, it means it's you open it up, it's not been.
Oh wow, the 43 Junior.
Yes, that's the 1/32 scale by Strombecker.
I got in trouble because of that car, the real one.
And here's an Aurora version of it also. Here, a Barracuda.
Yep.
I
Similar.
was going to say, this is like a big game of concentration. You've got to find the two matching pieces in here, the box and then the artwork.
Yes.
I was going to say, was it heads up?
The Pontiac's back over there.
Yes,
right?
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think the Corvair was as well.
It goes all the way to the floor.
Oh, yeah.
I got to tell you, I feel like I am a kid again at the local toy shop that my grandparents took me to.
That's the goal. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Drag
it.
City
Race. I'm looking for that that feel good, comfortable spot myself.
I'm
yes.
rolling back the years right now.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost too much to take in at one. Like you gotta like I said, sit here and just
Ryan,
look at it.
to be fair, we are less than 10 feet in the door, and it looks like it keeps on going.
No, we're done, right? No, this was it. There's nothing else after this.
No.
No. Wow. Oh, trains and cars. Well, I've seen. Oh, here's the Chrysler turbine car.
Now this.
I don't want to. You don't have to move that if you don't. Oh yeah. Wow, that's interesting.
Now Johann did the kit as a model kit of the Chrysler turbine, and of course had like opening hood, and I think maybe the trunk and the doors might have opened, but here was a simplified version that didn't have all the chassis and stuff with it, just the body shell, and this was designed to be used for slot racing. So they took their tooling and did like a more simplified version of it without all the little bits and pieces, and said, let's do this as a slot car body. And Johann was, I believe, out of the Detroit area, if I'm not mistaken. Detroit, Michigan. Yes.
My friend actually bought the remains of Johann at their auction. He owned the company for like a week. But then the guy who he was buying it for sold it. But he had boxes and boxes of Johann's, like original molds and such, just sitting on a shelf in his garage for like a year.
I picked up. There was a fellow that also bought a lot of their original drafting work and also their original commercial illustrations.
Okay.
And I did get some of that, yeah.
That's cool. Well, yeah, I saw the one, you said it was over here was Johann, or these two were Johann.
Right. I've got a few more of those also, yes, yeah. Yeah, that Comet funny car is that Rapid Randy one is one.
Yeah.
And this Superbird here also, yes.
I like the Hemi one with Big Daddy.
Right, a kind of a caricature of yeah.
That's cool though. I'm a Hemi guy.
See, I've got
Oh yeah, the Cosmic Charger.
And that guy guy and yeah.
The original artwork. Jeez.
Big Daddy's around here somewhere, but I've lost track of him. I do have that kit somewhere.
It's okay. I think it's your prerogative to move some stuff around. And this is just walking in the door. You said that there might be one or two others?
Well, it gets a little claustrophobic, but through this narrow passageway, and then if you hang a left, there's all your 1960s static kits. model kits, 1/25th scale.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, I got you.
And I'm taking one step at a time.
Doing well. Here you go.
Wow. I wish I brought my flashlight. It's all right. I got a flashlight on my phone. Let me pull it out. Oh, Barracudas. Chargers. A shooting brake charger. I've never seen that before. All right, let's see here.
Now, which one caught your eye now?
The 73 Charger shooting brake
yes,
right
you
there.
called your shooting brake, yes.
Yeah, because they're called with
right, of course. Yeah.
Hey, 71 Challenger. This is like what I have in my garage. Oh, wow. I've never seen half the artwork. I've never seen half of these. Wow. Hey, there's a 76 Roadrunner that doesn't exist.
Which one doesn't?
I see right there that it says 76 Roadrunner.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's a phantom car?
Yeah, they made them in 76, but they made them on the Volare platform.
Ah.
That's a 75 Roadrunner. Just someone
knows his stuff.
Moved it up. I know stuff too much.
I got some larger scale junk over here. On this
US
side.
Sub Chaser remote controlled? Oh, jeez. Oh, the General Lee. My friend just sold his last original General Lee. Ooh. Oh, there's my... Ooh, Boston and Maine right here. No, you're good. I'm a train nut too. Wow, sir.
What sort of trains do you go with?
Anything. I mean, I appreciate old, like full-size trains, but I also deal with HO, Lionel, a little bit of American Flyer. You know, see, like that's right there. That's a 70. That's a 75 Roadrunner right there. That's a proper one.
Gotcha.
So I mean, this is absolutely amazing, sir. Wow.
Well, I think
if you go below, some of these are the earlier 50s annuals also.
Oh yes, student. There's Rambler and all kinds of cool stuff. Oh, Thunderbirds.
What you got, sir?
Argo.
Hey Ryan, I found some more Ford stuff here. Another Ford car that I am not aware of. Can you imagine that?
Levacar. Ooh, that's interesting. Car plaque Barracuda. Never heard of that.
This is also like Jenga.
53 Stewed. This is just... He goes, I mean, I've been to hobby stores in the past, and I've never seen the quality that you have here, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Vet Crazy Customs.
Yeah, here's all your fantasy TV movie cars from about here on over. Some are just obviously speculative or
do you want me to help you with that, or yeah? Okay.
got it.
We got a bunch of Tom Daniel designs. Certainly was one of my favorite model designers back in the day.
Right, yeah, this little grouping right here, a lot of those.
Mark II GT40. Mark IV.
Oh, yeah, this one with the clear trailer is kind of cool. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm looking for a specific one. It was one of my favorite Tom Daniel designs. And...
Describe it.
It was called the California Street Vet.
Ooh. Wow. I think you got me there. I don't believe I have that one.
Here's Corvette Open Road. So here's all Corvette stuff that looks right here. There's Corvette Summer Spirit of 76.
It's going to be a monogram. And believe it or not, the story behind that car is that that was Tom Daniel's personal car that Monogram made a model of. And Tom still has that car in his garage that he's restoring right now.
Wow. That is cool. That's very cool.
Roadrunner Beep Beep T.
To find you, Mark, a California Street Vet.
Well, I'll tell you, there actually are a few slot cars I'm looking for first, but
ooh, the Cougar too.
Yeah, Cobra Chest.
My friend, he's the curator of the Detroit Historical Society. They own that car, and I got. It hadn't been out in like 20 years because it goes like very rarely they let it out. And he let me go through their building and document it. And then we brought it to McCacken a few years ago. And
Now, did I hear that had a Cobra chassis on it?
It is. It's Cobra chassis 2786, something like that. Maybe not. They both were.
You got credit for that one. No sweat. You're good.
But there are two twins. There's the Cougar 2 and the Ordinate Cougar.
Yep.
And they were both original Cobra chassis with bodywork on top of them, but they didn't run. When they were done building the cars, there was no room for a cooling system or anything like that.
Were they?
Oh, there it is. Oh, no, there's the Mustang 2. I have a picture of that Mustang 2.
Oh, right there too.
Yep, right here. I have a picture of this car next to that car in their warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
That is so cool.
Do you know who made the bodies?
Ford. Ford Styling, I know, did the bodies because we have a picture of a Corvette, a Jaguar E-Type, and then the Cougar 2 all in a line at the Ford Styling Studios.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really neat. Wow. This is just so cool, sir.
Thank you.
And we've just now made it 15 feet from
Not
the
even
entry.
50. We're around the corner.
Over here behind you in the shadows, I have the full complement of the Renwall 1966 series, kind of, at that time, future interpretations of vintage cars, like the 1966 Bugatti, Mercer Roadster, a 1966 Duesenberg, a 1966 Stutz, a 1966 Pierce Arrow. They did half a dozen cars. Here's some Ed Roth stuff. Here's some Ed Roth stuff that's been a Japanese issue of Ed Roth stuff. There's your Super Fuzz by Monogram, Stanley Mouse. There's some later work by Roth there. That's a mailbox chopper.
Oh, here's even more. Here's airplane stuff. I didn't even see this.
Those are screwdriver, what they call giant scale screwdriver by Aurora, I believe.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Moto racing. Wow. Oh, HO. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, just HO scale, junior set, motoring racing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing it would match up with HO scale anything. My friend has the slot car 60s, 70s version that has the HO track that runs through it so he can run his train while the cars are racing. It's a lot of fun.
No kid ever tried to smash the car into the train.
Never. No, we were all very delicate with our cars and trains.
We never watched The Addams Family.
Addams Family, Dukes of Hazzard, none of that. Wow. Oh, cool art. Like, it's not art, but it's a display sign.
Yeah, it's Sears, so that would be tied in with Mark's Toys. So not terribly exciting, but a bit unusual.
That is.
I do have the artwork for this Tyco set. I have a couple of pieces of the Tyco tractor trailer artwork.
Cool.
Up here is artwork of a Tyco haunted highway just in time for Halloween. There's your original artwork. There's a glossy clear covering on it that removes, it lifts up.
Yeah.
And they've left the art panel vacant where they're going to put all the spiel and all that detail. But that's kind of a fun piece. Yeah, you can see the eyeball and the monster haven't been added to the art. Those are added later. But yeah.
That's cool though.
And it's actually done in a fairly large format. The art is done 1-to-1 scale, if not even bigger. So it's a nice little bit.
Very cool.
Thank you.
That is, I love this stuff. I love history. We're good.
Okay.
I can be delicate when I have to be.
I am going to take just a quick aside here.
Okay.
Just to see if I can spot something quickly. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize there was a door.
On toy trains, did you mention American Flyer?
Yes.
So here, Gilbert, American Flyer, intersection. Now, Yeah, there's an intimation there that something's going to happen if these cars haven't stopped yet. But what's neat about this, besides the suggestion of how to get maximum play fun out of your toy, is that the track itself can work with 027 Lionel.
Yeah.
What's it called? Gilbert. Is it O-gauge Gilbert?
O-gauge.
And HO. It can work with all three gauges. So that was fairly liberal of old American Flyer. And
I've never seen anything like that.
the slot cars. Notice there's a third pickup at the bottom of the slot.
Yeah.
They some of the early American Flyer Gilbert slot car sets utilized not slot car racing, but more like model roadways, and they would have the car set up running bi-directional on, one's headed north, one's headed south, like a real street, and you could run two cars in one lane by having two pickups here and two pickups there. So they tried to emulate model road race. They try to emulate
the road
train model train sensibilities with their model car roadway, and it was a flop. Kids wanted to race their hot rods and go bumper to bumper and bang each other in the corners. No one wanted to do like a scale model roadway with slot cars. They wanted to race.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and the other thing they did, they see the keg loading conveyor. There's a typical American Flyer, right?
Yep.
But no, it doesn't have trains. It shows the pickup truck.
Oh, interesting.
So this is for the Autorama. So they took the exact same bit that they had for the trains and just changed the packaging. So trying to do what they could with it.
Never seen that. Yeah, I can get past.
There's Mustangs.
Oh yeah.
Mustangs. You've got Ford GTs. You've got
Alolas,
Mako Sharks, Lotus, everything. Even a wagon.
Ford wagon even.
Country Squire.
I don't think that's a real. Isn't Country Squire the wood grain then?
Different year, I would assume.
Yeah, interesting. Cool.
Here's a 24 scale body by Lindbergh of the Daytona Cobra, or the Cobra Coupe, and out of Skokie, Illinois, and
that's incredible. Well, who was it? AMT was in Morton Grove for decades. I think it was AMT because they made this. I was there right at the end of before they tore down the building. They had more science fiction stuff at the time, but it was like Sequest, Star Trek Voyager, those kind of models. And we took a tour in the Boy Scouts.
Could have been Monogram models.
Maybe Monogram. Whoever made the Star Trek Voyager set of models in the 90s, that they made them at that facility.
Really?
In Morton Grove.
Could be. I mean, could be. You're right.
It wasn't like I chose it. It was just a cool tour we took, but just interesting stuff.
These are some smaller scale items here, from HO to 32nd scale. It's kind of a mixture of everything. As big as that box is, these are 1/32nd scale. Here's good old Aurora taking something that could fit into like a little box and squeezing it into a big box, and then aren't you going to be disappointed? But over on this side we have a lot of Cold War era missile type stuff.
Okay.
So these are a lot of Revell and whatnot, 50s and early 60s model missile kits.
There we go. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
So some of the fun bits here, on the walls and ceiling are more of these commercial illustrations. These are all the original illustrations that were used on the model kits. For instance, here's like an Aurora model called The Prehistoric Scenes of a Saber-Toothed Tiger. Here's the original illustration for it.
Wow.
Things like this here, these are interesting.
Yeah.
People that know cars will say that's a Jaguar, a D-type Jaguar. Is that right?
It looks like it.
But notice it says International Sports Racer, and this one, same company, says Grand Prix Racer. Here's the artwork there for the yellow car, and there's your cream car over there. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Just turning my camera on.
So it's apparent at this stage of the game that Lindbergh either had a disagreement or wasn't willing to pay whatever Jaguar wanted to use their name Jaguar on the model kits.
Maybe they just didn't ask for permission yet.
Well, same thing happened with the Green Hornet from the Green Hornet Imperial.
Mm-hmm.
For the new movie, they use a different year Green Hornet. That way they didn't have to pay licensing fees to whoever owns it.
That's so sad. It
is. It's terrible.
Yeah,
it was the Jeffries family that originally designed it, so they got nothing out of it.
Well, in the 50s, I make kind of a generalized statement here, but I believe companies like GE and Ford and Chrysler would not charge a model company to build a replica of theirs, but they would assist in blueprints, perhaps underwriting tooling costs, and what they could do to reasonably enough, help indoctrinate the young child in saying that, gee, Chrysler or Chevy or whatever is the way we want to, what the future holds for us.
Absolutely.
And now it's like they seem to all have divisions that do nothing but,
licensing.
Jump down people's throat if they have the temerity to basically commemorate something that they made in the past that was a thing of beauty or significant or historic.
You've got to pay the licensing fee to Ford for the Mustang, right? To Shelby for the name, and to Goodyear if the emblem's on the tires.
Tires,
yes,
yeah.
you do.
Yeah, no, it begs it begs belief that they would actually be that
callous,
cheap, tight-fisted, short-sighted, everything else.
Oh yeah.
Now what's why does that name look familiar right there? FL Trend.
This is by Johann. And this is the original artwork to it there. And this is a 60s era kit of a
Mark's winning the game.
Old 442.
Just a little bit.
But on the rear flank of the car, it has a tag, FL Trends. FL Trends was a company that specialized in making fiberglass front clips and body parts for drag cars.
Oh, interesting.
And they had a bit of a following and did some unusual stuff. I imagine it's on this one because they probably did a whole front end in fiberglass for your Olds 442s. And I've seen the name in one or two other model kits, so it wasn't a flash in the pan. They seem to have some following back in the day.
Okay.
But yeah, a fairly challenging kit to get, this one.
That's
actually.
cool.
Yeah.
I like this. I was looking at this shock absorber display you have.
Right.
That was interesting.
Well, I would crank it to show you what it does, but the little belt it runs on, unfortunately, is not in the best shape. But when you do crank it, one car stays level, and the other car hops and jumps around.
Gotcha.
Sort of just a characterization of, which car has good shocks or no shocks.
And there's the ship, and there's the model for the ship.
What's interesting about this...
And Ryan's on the board with his first score in concentration.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Aerofix, most people recognize as a British company.
Yep.
In 1966, there was Aerofix Made in USA, or Aerofix of America, depending who was calling it, and they reutilized a lot of the Aerofix tooling. Here's the SS France, and over here is, going past the Statue of Liberty, is this one here, the Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, okay.
But even though the American concern was using all British tooling to make the models, they generated all new artwork for the kits in 1966.
Gotcha.
So I have a series of that. I have everything from a pirate ship to Vietnam era helicopters and whatnot. They did some interesting bits.
Yes, they did. I love that Corvette artwork on the ceiling with the Ford Thunderbird behind it.
That
right there.
That was from a home racing set by Marks, and these were usually sold through Sears. And yeah, a Corvette racing, a four-seater Thunderbird, you know, from 65, 66 is a little improbable, but you know, it's a nice action shot, and it's unusual. That's one of the few pieces I have that's actually done in oil, where basically 99% of the rest of the stuff is in a water-based medium, more traditional for illustrative work. This trio here, these are all. Oh, okay.
Oh no! I was
no, you're
sorry,
good. You're
my
good.
mind is.
I should follow your lead.
No.
Oh, okay.
You're absolutely. I'm just. It's like your eye just follows. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, shiny objects.
Here we have
Those.
Aurora sailback reptile, and these are all from the same series. There's this guy was also sold as a separate kit, the caveman, and there's also the cave woman. You've got World War II era German stuff. Here's one by
the first jets. The first.
That's right, the rocket fighter. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Technically, they weren't jets. They were rockets. They weren't with a pilot.
Z-Stoff and C-Stoff, they called it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they gave the pilots rubber raincoats.
I didn't hear that.
Well, because the linkage would leak.
Oh yeah.
And they'd be sprayed with these toxic chemicals in their little compartments. They gave them a rubber suit to wear. Here, good luck, Heinz. You know, but yeah, here we got two different companies with the same subject matter. Yeah.
And so what's this big thing down here?
This, I think, is a styling model done in plaster. I believe it's of a Subaru. I remember I bought this on eBay a good 20 years ago.
Okay.
This is the box it was shipped in, although I've cut out part of it to store some film. Yeah, it's
interesting.
It's
oh jeez.
Yeah, it's solid. I mean, this is full thickness. This isn't hollow here. It's that thick all the way through, and.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, no, they, you know.
Well, so I was looking at that, and then, like I said, my mind wandered up to the Hudson.
The Hudson is a half car that's designed actually to be mounted onto a wall. There's 2x2 wood here that's affixed to a fairly massive plaster casting, then painted, of course. And it's designed to be flushed up, mounted onto some support pieces on a wall. And yeah, that's your Hudson, and I acquired that because I knew a fella from collecting bicycles. His name is Paul Grimshaw, and Paul's father was a car designer most of his life. Before World War II, Paul's father, Mr. Grimshaw, worked for Auburn. After the war, he worked for Hudson, and the last project he worked on was the '62 Pontiac Grand Prix.
Oh, cool!
And yeah, so he had a fairly significant career. One of Paul's claim to fame, his son, was sometime in the 1980s. He rode a high-wheel bicycle, the high-wheel bicycle from the 1880s.
Yep.
He rode one across the width of the United States.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yes.
Looking at just all the models.
I'm noticing your light up here. That does seem to resemble some of the model kits. I don't know if that's just coincidence.
Well, no, it was a happy, just a happy coincidence. I bought the light fixture at a swap meet sometime, like a flea market or something, and I never did anything with it. And I started collecting the art, and I said, some of these images are really similar to some of the paintings I'm finding. So it had to go up. I
like the Grand Turismo or Grand Turnpike set with train set, and you got a work train set up there, and
this is perhaps one of the least expensive toys you can imagine.
Oh, Tyco, yeah.
Right, but not the Tyco from slot cars. Not T.
TY.
This is TICO, and a whole nother kettle of fish. And this, it just goes on forever.
Streamliner passenger train. Oh, you're good, you're good. It was just a model kit on the back, of course.
It's concentration and Jenga.
So, what's funny about this, let me kind of put it in order. So,
I know that engine. That is a F8 locomotive.
So, these are self-powered. You just stick your penlight battery in there and you let it go. Okay? And the little racing cars take 2 penlight batteries and they go on a track, but the track isn't electrified.
Gotcha.
Okay? But the Grand Turnpike set, the Hot Rod Speedway, and the passenger set don't ever interface.
Oh, no.
There's no intersection.
They're completely separate.
Totally separate. And the other thing is, you've got
hobby size HO gauge.
Right. It's about as inexpensive as a set as you can imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen one where they're all plastic like that.
Right. All plastic, a little bit of cardboard there, and I mean the cars have like simple wagon type steering, you know, and the drive is rub drive. You just had a twin shafted little Mabuchi motor with little rubber sleeves rubbing on the top of the tires. So I mean truly, you know, cool. as modest as you can make it.
That's so cool.
But the box is over the top. It's very fragile. It has 5 cello windows in it, you know. So, but I'm not going to try to put it back up right now. I'm going to leave it off over here to the side.
Well, I apologize for having you take that down.
No, but yes,
Wow, there's even more.
Well,
I like this one especially right here. This one right here. I have one. I have a 71 Challenger at home.
Really?
Yep. That's what I was working on before I came here. Was a 71 Challenger. Was the car.
What were you doing on it?
I'm restoring it very slowly, and I broke some stuff on it. So.
What'd you break?
Everything. It's been sitting in my garage for 15 years, and I'm finally getting to the point where I'm starting to put it together, and it's fighting me on everything. Right now, I tried to put on the tail panel, because in 71s, the tail panels are slightly different. There's actually a plate that goes over the taillight lenses, and I was mounting it up last night, and there's an emblem that bridges this little gap, sheared right in half as I was mounting it. I'm like...
And that's a die-cast metal piece, right?
It is. Thankfully, year one makes it, so I ordered a new one last night, but it's like... I was like ready to put the whole back end together, and this piece has to go first, because everything goes over it. And so now I was like... So I was working on today cleaning some stuff, and that's when Brian called me. And I'm like, I was even dirtier and scuzzier before this. But yeah.
Well, you got to get these store displays.
As I was looking at it, I was like, wow.
Are we rolling?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this store display. I mean, just the I like, I like this one too. I like the detail. I got my pinup girls there.
Imco. It might have been out of Chicagoland, I think. But yeah, the companies like this did stuff. They do decal sets to people to put on their bicycles, you know, like a 1950s bicycle and stuff, and water transfer decals, of course. Here's a whole merchandising board of little gears for slot cars, little crown or pinions and crowns and stuff. And so there's the whole deal there.
I'm already drifting off away here on you. What is this James Bond display?
James Bond here
this
is once again a Gilbert item, American Flyer, but this is a import. They had this made for themselves in Portugal, and you've got the painted characters, all the key characters, you know. Let's see. James Bond, you know, you got Odd Job, and you've got Goldfinger, and you know it. Got Domino's down here. Moneypenny is tucked over there. Largo. So yeah, we've got.
And then you've got some of the some other stuff too.
Yeah, those are more you know.
Did you see this Corvette Stingray? It says Cobra on it.
Right. These are vacuum formed bodies by. Let's see.
It says Corvette Stingray Cobra.
I think Cobra is the name of the company name.
I'm just saying it's just so weird because it's very similar to.
But these are narrow bodies, so they're probably for the old Aurora Thunderjets. If you wanted to ditch the injection molded body and put on a lightweight vacuum formed body.
I didn't even see the rally bicycle clock. That's cool.
Yes, I do have. I have another promotional 2 clocks over there.
Oh, yeah.
One's for a slot car company called Champion. The other one's for CCM, a Canadian bicycle manufacturer. And
now I'm behind you, Mark.
So
I'm noticing the Aston Martin up here with your James Bond collection, but I don't see it called the James Bond Aston Martin.
Well, this is sort of a curious piece because
I got it.
Nice catch, well done.
Ooh, every once in a while, even a near-dead sloth can move.
So what's fun about this is that this is in the neighborhood we're in right now. This address on Belden Avenue
right over there.
is very close to us, and so it's called a secret agent car. It's a gold Aston Martin.
Again, no licensing rights, right?
Right. It doesn't say it doesn't say James Bond. It doesn't say what's it, Broccoli Productions, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go down here in very fine print, they have number 007. They snuck that in there. So, too small to make any difference to anybody. This is like what they call a blow-up car. They did a whole series of cars that were just, I think they were rubber band powered, and you'd run them into a wall, and the little Tupperware type componentry of it, that the fenders are made of, it'd blow off into individual pieces.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's interesting.
But yeah, just I think that location is like a condo now. It's been for like the last 30 some years or more.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Yes.
Wow.
And like here's an interesting piece of artwork. This is by Aurora. They did in about 1964-65 they did what they called O-gauge cars. O-gauges were bigger than HO and smaller than 1/32.
Yep.
And I just have this was like a home set.
Oh, jeez, of course you have
and
that.
so it'd be like both cars and track and controllers and transformers. I just have the kind of a raggedy box top. But this is what matches that.
It's enough to win a point in concentration.
Wow.
Yes. And just when they were doing it, I've got that's a survival rifle, probably from a kit from the 50s. That is a model kit you would be able to assemble, disassemble, put back and forth together. I think it popped out like a little plastic bullet, and you can see the box peeking out. That was by Lindbergh, from suburb of Chicago, but nice big art for from a 1950s kit. You've got.
I like the genuine Schwinn built parts cabinet right over there. That's neat.
These are
Schwinn was, Chicago.
Well, I collect bicycle stuff too.
Oh, jeez.
Which is part of my problem, and so like if we look in here,
the cabinets are full.
You can see how disturbed I truly am, and
I wouldn't go there.
Well, thank you. And if you ever need a Delta bicycle light, you know where to come.
I can see that. Wow. That is something.
But I collect old bicycles.
And so do you make dioramas, or did you have them made, or?
These are a bit beaten up, but these are actually, this is in rough shape, but this is a store display.
Oh.
And you can see the remnants of the factory sticker, which has probably been eaten by small vermin or something. And here's one. This one, the rigging is fallen off the ship and the towers are busted. But here you can see it's Revell USS Forrest Sherman, $1.69, so you know how old that is.
Jeez, that's incredible.
And these are called store displays, where the model company would, the model kit company would build the model, and they would be available to your retailer just as a sales stimulator, a way to get the message across.
Gotcha.
I gotta take a break right here because I don't know about the rest of you, but when I was a kid, and what do you want to be when you grow up? besides answering older, I would say that I wanted to design cars. And this looks like the training kit for design your own car at home.
Well, that's your classic. They use the word Detroit, and that's right on the money, because this comes with blocks of clay that you're supposed to shape and mold into whatever interpretive body style that you come up with or dream up. And so you bet. It's by a craft.
Oh, wow, there's a lot more.
It's by a craft company, not a model kit company. It comes with a styrofoam armature that acts as your base. It has a whole wax paper full of.
Oh my God! Don't take it apart. We don't want the wax paper to dissolve.
Well, so you mold the car, you create the car, and then it's like Mr. Potato Head, and you put the pieces on.
Right. You can stick on your grill and your wheels and stuff. But it gives you a fair amount of ability to interpret it.
The wax paper is already holding.
Oh, thank you.
Disintegrating.
I would probably venture to say it was. Wait. Division of Milton Bradley. You know what? It doesn't matter. They've got so much money, it doesn't matter. Or
yeah,
did.
No.
So, but I would imagine, nonetheless, this particular kit model. Well, they did like kind of like El Camino style there. Probably didn't sell well, would be my guess.
Well, look at this. They've even got your templating pieces, so you could mirror it from one side to the other.
Sure.
Wow. I wish I had this when I was a kid. I might have had a different career.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can have it as an adult.
There you go.
I have a whole bunch of friends who do this for a living, and I'm gonna send them that.
Should I open it up for you?
No. I got the video, but okay. I'm gonna send them pictures. Like, have you guys ever seen this? And they're gonna be flipping out.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen it, and I'm sure they've never seen it.
Well, how many do you think ever survived? I mean, it's
how many were never used? Right? Yeah. Wow.
But the store displays you've got are absolutely incredible.
Like this. No, I've dollied this one up with a period 1950s cigarette display because it's turquoise on turquoise. But here you've got. This is a toy by ITC, which is Ideal Toy Company, and this was a 53, 54, 55 Corvette model kit. Not a terribly a bit toy-like, but the display is fun. You got the turquoise. Which the model kit wasn't molded, and they actually molded the store display in a cooler color. I think the car was molded like in an off-white or something.
Okay.
And but you got metal corners, you got the retail price prominent, you got the sort of a film clip sort of thing going here, and just a really nice big store display. That
absolutely, but it's mint. I mean, it's perfect.
Oh yeah, well that's and store displays were never allowed. They were never sold. They were given, or generally given, to a retailer. That one there, the clear cover's a bit collapsed, but there's a big 8th scale Pontiac Trans Am store display.
Hey, I'm over you.
Okay.
And it's hard to see, but in the background, they have photographed a near North Side suburban movie theater.
Okay.
And it shows at the time they did this that it was a double bill playing, and one was When a Stranger Calls, and the second part of the bill was The Warriors.
Oh, wow.
Which is a fun movie.
Yeah.
And so once again, Monogram was Elk Grove Village, and they just went into their, a nearby, evening scene with a movie theater, photographed and used the backdrop for this store display. They did. You can see the whole gamut in that time frame of what they were doing in 8th scale. The Bucket T, the Vet, the 32 Roadster, and the 65.
I like the Big Dick.
Well, I had to get that. I had to get that for a multitude of reasons, and I'll leave it there.
We're just gonna keep on walking then.
Well, so that everyone can say, "Oh, look, Mark also has a."
Exactly.
Now, let me see if just one other.
I'll have to bleep that out now. Yeah. That's just funny. I don't think I've ever had to bleep out anything in my videos.
Oh, we haven't done enough of them, obviously.
Exactly. That is true. That is true.
I have a paper ad for it somewhere, a little paper ad, which has gone adrift. If I find it later, I'll show it to you. It's even funnier than that.
Oh, boy.
It says, every boy wants a...
Yeah. A Bradley machine gun.
That's what the ad says.
Well, now I'm obviously tempted because there's another room. But while you guys were talking about that over there, What's this Shinoda piece here?
Shinoda was a Japanese-American gentleman that was involved with the design of the Stingray Corvette.
Yep.
And also involved with one of the
Boss Mustangs.
The Boss Mustang. And he lived in Detroit, and he also made a series of vacuum form bodies, very aerodynamic, and they're basically just for fun and speed. I mean, they were aerodynamic for speed, and he just a free-form thing. I mean, this wasn't a major business for him. He just vacuum form bodies could be made with relatively little investment.
Oh, absolutely.
And the local racers would then build a chassis to match the car, and you'd get different interpretations on how to build cars and stuff, but they do it to match the body. And so he was just selling these locally in the Detroit area, but he's quite a bit of a following. Once again, it wasn't a major business for him. I think it was just a hobby where, you know, he might have had access to a vacuum form machine at work, you know, and he, you know, made a simple male mold and sucked it down and sold the bodies to the local racers. So they're known as Shinoda. Some of them have been reproduced, like this one here is I can tell by the thickness of the plastic, this is a lighter plastic, a vacuum form plastic. This is a reproduction of one of his original ones. Very accomplished man, involved with, you know, two of the most significant American cars of the post-war era. Same guy, but he dug slot cars and made some. The Shinoda bodies did you know, I don't know how many he did. He might have done maybe a dozen permutations. I'm guessing at that, but probably just something he did in his spare time just to have fun.
I think there might be a moral to that, which is if you love the beauty of the automobile, does size really matter?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And that's why we all start with, you know, 87-cent little toy cars, and we graduate into much more expensive toy cars. And
no boy growing up that had a Hot Wheels collection can be an adult satisfied with one car. Yeah. I'm speaking from experience.
I'm there with you.
Well, the other thing about Shinoda was that he's designing for corporations. So, I mean, it's amazing they let him design what he did, God bless him. But here he could design with absolutely zero limitations. I mean, he could design whatever he could imagine. And so
the very last thing that Larry Shinoda ever designed was the Discoverer RV. Looks like a spaceship on wheels. He made them right after he left Ford. He went into this company with someone, and if you ever look at it, a Discoverer RV.
I'll look it up.
It's fascinating what he designed with it, with all the cool shapes. And
do they build one?
Oh yeah, they made a line of them. I mean, I've almost bought a few of them. I love them. It's like a shuttle. Like the doors there's a door in the side, or I think some of it came with a door in the back. But it's we'll Google it when we get out of here.
Good.
But you'll appreciate it. But the prototype everything that he made that was a prototype, he had a custom steering wheel center made that I think it made LS or for Larry Shinoda.
Oh,
wow!
Because when they found his boss, the prototype boss that he made, it had LS in it, and I think his Corvette prototype had an LS in the center cap of it. But that's just weird facts.
Cool. Well, you were asking about displays. These are a lot of your 50s and 60s store displays, and invariably the model would be built and put on some sort of cardboard base and backdrop. And it was, I mean, they went to a lot of effort to sell a 98-cent toy model kit. You know, I mean, someone actually to run the rigging for this, Wright Flyer or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's Wright Flyer.
Some are even funnier, like this Visible V8. Revell made a lot of these, but the original tooling was done by Renwall that did plastic toys. And what's fascinating about this Visible V8, this sample is for display only, not to be resold.
Ooh.
Right. So, this whole thing, here's a store display. Here's an Aurora, early Aurora, the Viking ship. Great.
Okay.
A couple of years later, the movie, The Vikings, with Kirk Douglas, Ernest Borgnine, Tony Curtis, Janet Leigh comes out, and here's the same thing done with a total pitch to the movie company, to the movie, The Vikings. Behind it is a paper window banner that also was a compliment. You put this in the front window, you put the paper banner up against the inside of the glass, and so you have them getting double duty out of this tooling, doing a tie-in with a major Hollywood movie. Another interesting tie-in here is this one. This is by Monogram, and they had the very good-natured and a positive character of Snoopy.
Yeah.
And Snoopy was flying doghouse and whatnot. Well, one of their biggest competitors, Revell, at the time, didn't, they were behind the eight ball. They hadn't done the contract with this cartoonist to take this on. So what they did, this is Revell now, they made a caricature, and this was designed by Dave Deal, called the Baron Fundecker Fokker. And this is the model kit. And the original artwork,
Oh yeah.
if you look at it, they've taken a real, they've taken a shot that you see a doghouse, flying doghouse in flames, a dog's tail wagging, and doggone. So you have this little shot they've taken at
more than a warning shot.
Well, yeah, and this turned out. I talked recently to someone from this company, and they shared with me that when the kit first came out, the upper echelon guys were, thought it was kind of, weren't that crazy about it. It turned out to be one of Revell's best-selling kits, and it was reissued many, many times. It turned out to have a lot of fun value and appeal to a lot of people. They sold lots of them.
That's
lots
awesome.
of them. Yes.
Incredible. Now, this is not a toy store display.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I'm like, what
is
the heck is this?
I bought this at a toy show about 15, 20 years ago in Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Now, Kalamazoo is fairly close to Detroit.
Yeah.
And I would find out that things would come out of the Detroit styling studio, and corporate would come to this toy show sometimes. Now this, when I first saw it, I thought it was metal. It's not. It's vacuum form.
Huh.
And what they've done is they've used different colors. Here's a green, a brown, a mustard, a gray, and I believe the different colors are representing different individual stampings of metal.
Oh, interesting.
The little brass brads, I believe, are representing the
Spot welds?
Thank you, the spot welds.
Yeah.
And so I had this for about 20 years. A year ago, I'm looking at some photos of someone showing what they had found, what they'd seen at for sale at the Hershey Antique Car Show in the fall. This is about a year ago. And they photograph, this is the right side of the car. Someone found the left side of it.
Oh, jeez.
And the left side is for a two-door, it's
not for a post. It's for a hard top.
It has two doors on it.
Yep.
So it's the same thing, but on the other side, mirror image, but they've done it for two doors. So I don't feel it was in the vein of the model kit store displays. It wasn't trying to sell the public. I think it was more for the sake of engineering in-house, or for the sake of men assembling on the line, or something to kind of a training tool or an aid in design.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Wow. And, man, what's with all the like the Shelby model kit down there, and what's with the Willys and?
These are 1/10 scale.
10th or 9th?
1/10. 1/10. And what they do is they start out with a solid wood master of what it is they want to make a model of. And then from a solid master, they'll make a silicone mold.
Yeah.
Then they'll do a resin casting where it can be hollow and then they can start to do interior details and stuff. And so it starts out solid wood, then it goes to resin.
That's crazy.
This one's a combination. It's actually a carved wood hood. But this is the process by which they start with the external, then start to do the internals as you go from solid wood to castable resin. Then when they finally get it refined to the point where they're happy, they pantograph it, which means they just take a follower and run it across the body, and it's attached to a cutting wheel. And the way the pantograph works, you can do a reduction with it. So I think they do a 2.5 time reduction. So you're 1 1/10 scale master, if you will, can be reduced down to 1/25 scale. And the pantograph that's following it, the other end is cutting the tooling in a block of steel that they can do the injection molding with.
Wow.
And this is a totally moot point these days. This whole art form, craft skill way of doing things has been replaced, of course, with scanning and CNC machining. And so this is sort of the end of the road. You know, these were probably, some of these were kits probably from the early 80s and stuff, maybe even the mid 80s, I'm guessing. But this was.
Well, where did you find them then, sir?
I had gone once again to this toy show where I bought that piece at in Kalamazoo, and this guy was out of the Detroit area, and he did contract work making these masters for companies like AMT and MPC.
Okay.
And he had retired, and I ran into him at a show, and you know, he had some inkling of this on his table, and you know, one thing led to another, and I ended up buying a bunch of them from him.
Gotcha.
But
that's
yeah,
amazing.
Yes.
I like this. I've watched this show, The Sea of You, Voyage Under the Sea.
Yes.
My friend owns the original Sea of You model. He bought it at auction.
How big is it?
Oh, it's enormous. It's like 6 feet long.
Yes.
It's out in California. And because it came up, and did you know that the last week or 2 weeks ago, this won't be in the video, a few weeks ago, Gregory Jean, he did a model work for like a whole bunch. He had that missing Star Wars X-wing that went for $3 million or something like that.
Oh.
But he had a whole bunch of the original stuff from Voyage Under the Sea. Like he had I'm blanking on the little shuttle name, whatever. But a whole bunch of the stuff from that show recently went up.
Wow.
That's Shelby though. That's cool.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The
Oh, P-38. I'm just.
This is an early car. It's got the flat tail like that.
Now here's the cool P-38.
Oop, turning around.
Right here.
Ooh, wow, that thing's huge. My friend owns that boat.
2 engines,
Yeah.
ready to fly.
Wow.
A control line, plastic flying P-38 by Wenmac.
I've never. That's
And yeah.
wow.
This was the piece de resistance by Wenmac, and Aurora, God bless her heart, did a flying B-25
Really?
with twin engines, and the Aurora one was only like around for maybe 1960-61.
Okay, you got it. Yeah.
And that is over here now.
B-52 electronic ball turret gun. Jeez.
Every boy needs one.
Hey, automotive adventurers, I hope you enjoyed that video from Mark's Cool House. And what an incredible collection. It's still, going through pictures and video, blows my mind how cool and thought out and methodical. Every corner of that lower level is just packed full of amazing history, and just, I can't wait to go through it again here in the future, which I will hopefully hear now that I'm back from St. Louis. I just got back about an hour ago. I was in St. Louis for 5 days technically, doing a whole bunch of barn finding adventures, and I'll show a clip here of maybe one of them when I get off at the end here. But the Challenger did great. The new rim, no problems. I drove with my friend Seth for a little bit, and he said he didn't feel anything. So I'm very happy to hear that, let me tell you. I also picked up a few parts for the Challenger, and you can't see it, but I got, while I was away, the new lower core support for my 71 Challenger, which is awesome. I need to set up with Magnum when to get it over there, which requires me asking a friend to borrow a trailer. You know, that old shindig. But yeah, I've been traveling for a little over 6-7 weeks now. I get a few days home, and then I got something very special coming up. Watch my social media, because I'm not going to ruin it here, but Thursday I'm filming something very special, which will be really nice and really exciting. I hope you guys will enjoy it. I don't know when it will air. I think it airs like a week later, but I'll keep you guys all posted. Other than that, just getting ready for some other odds and ends. It's spring now officially. Even though I left St. Louis, it was 80 degrees. I am now here in Chicago. It's 44 degrees. And as I look out the door, it's black out there because we got some severe storms rolling through. So if anyone has any comments or questions, I'm going to get inside before this place gets knocked over in the storm. Of course, I share a new video every Monday. And what else? Share, like, and subscribe. That way I can keep on doing this. And I will see you all next time. Stay safe. Okay.